going to talk today about my Forest River T19QB-HW trailer. This trailer is the high wall version with the queen bed in it. You can see it here set up. Once I got the trailer, I made a few significant changes to the trailer, which really made it a lot more usable, especially in the space department. In the front here, you can see there's a bunk on the front which had a drawer. There used to be a door here, a drawer inside that went the full length of the trailer. It was a real disaster. The drawer didn't move very well. It cut this whole bunk area in half, vertically and horizontally. You really couldn't do much with the rest of the bunk. So what I did is I tore the door out, took it out, took the framing that was around it out. I added in some venting. I have venting on the side here, and there's venting in the floor. These are shower drains with screens on them. It allows water to get out and moisture to get out of this vent, or this area. I also, it allows us to keep the pails for the sewage in here, the tarps, lawn chairs, broom. This is the awning, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's a very, very usable space, and it's completely lockable, and it is waterproof to keep everything dry. Next thing I did is I moved the battery to the back of the trailer because I wanted to have two batteries. I have two large 28 size batteries back here. Sorry, 27 size batteries in boxes, which more than doubled our battery capacity for camping without power. I also added these LED lights, which are connected to the brakes and signal lights only. The normal lights that come with these things are not that bright, and I'd hate for somebody to run into me, so I put these big lights on it. In the back, remember at the front there was a place where there used to be a door covered by aluminum sheet. Now in the back, I took that door and put it back here on the right hand side and created a area back here which is completely sealed from the rest of the trailer. This is the barbecue. I've got extra propane tanks, the emergency tanks in here. I have a spare stove, a few knickknacks, the table, everything is right here. The barbecue is used right beside it here on this rail, so it's extremely handy. It's vented in case there's any fumes from the propane cylinders, even though these aren't supposed to leak. It just makes it a whole bunch safer, plus it dries out in there if it happens to get moist somehow. You put something in there. I added these goofy looking spars on the top of the trailer. You see that bolt sticking out at the top, that pin. There's another one here on the front section. I simply put a piece of plastic conduit across there, and I can strap a tarp to it, and that gives us an awning, which is really nice if you're camping for a few days and it's raining. There's something else small I did back here, and that is underneath. I moved the drain valve for the water tank from behind the axle. It was way back in behind there. I put it where you can reach it without even bending down. This makes draining the tank so much easier. If you want to tow without the tank full of water, you just open that. You don't have to get dirty, bend down. Just reach underneath and quickly open it, or close it as you like. On the inside of the trailer, we made a few more changes. The first thing that I did was I completely rebuilt the bed area. I lifted the bed up 6 inches, which allows us to use these roughneck bins, storage bins. This is I think it's a 52 liter and a 38 liter. These we use for storing all our clothing, all our food. You can see this one's marked shoes. We got dry mix down there. There can have enough room now in this section by lifting the bed up and doing some other modifications to the air conditioning heating unit venting. that I was allowed. We have 4 pairs of those in there now. That's more than enough. We lived in this for 3 weeks a couple years ago, and didn't want for anything. We have everything, lots of room to put everything that we need. When I changed the bed, lifted it up, made this hole here, I had to obviously change the venting on the AC, and I had to move some of the wiring that went across the vent area at the front, because this was all taken up with a big vent for an intake and the outtake vents for the AC. I also had to do a little bit of movement with some of the water. I moved the filter over a little bit to give us a bigger space. But it really made the big difference to the unit. It does make the bed a little bit high to sit on, although that bed isn't really sat on very much. It is a full queen bed mattress in this unit. The queen bed mattress that came with it was electrically heated, and it was a real cheap mattress. So I threw that out and got a residential queen bed mattress in here. So this bed is as comfortable as a bed in the house. The other thing I did with in this area, I moved all the switches. We got the nightlight switch here, which is just a switch down by the door, a light down by the door. The water heater switch which was on the other side of the trailer, underneath where the table is, put down now, and the water pump, which was over on part of the bed. I put them all 3 in a row here. You can reach in through the door when the top is down. You can reach across and you can feel that all these switches are turned off. It's very handy. I've added a 12-volt lighter type connection here to connect to the batteries, obviously, for charging the phones. And I've moved the electrical outlet here so it's a little more handy than it was on the back side of the microwave cabinet. Counter spaces are premium in something like this. You can see the counter's not very big if you get the stove up and the sink open. So the board that was framing around the drawer in the front that I took out, that big drawer, I had a piece of wood here that matches, so I was able to make a simple swing over cabinet, or countertop. Just put the edging on it. The edging also was surplus from the trailer, and it just simply sits here over top of the bed. It gives you a lot more counter space, particularly when you're doing dishes, even when you're making supper. If there's 2 people in here, just a whole bunch more space. Added a few hooks here and there around the trailer, and tidied up some of the other wiring that was underneath some of the cabinets. Other than that, the trailer is a wonderful trailer. I'd recommend these to anybody. These modifications are not difficult to do, really. They take a little bit of time, but they're well worth it, and they really, really change the usability of this trailer. Thank you.